Alright, I'm going to run through a quick little tutorial on some of the things on the stage here at the Nashville Palace. Very simple here. This is the lighting on the stage, and really, see where it says color? The knob is missing, but yellow purple is what I use. That's a good color up here actually. But you just turn this and see, it'll give you different options. You press it to engage it. But yellow purple gives you nice skin tones. And then right below it is this knob here that says dimmer, and it just turns the brightness of the stage up or down, as you can see. So that's about where I set it. And there'll be some sort of lights on when you get here, so you don't really have to worry about that too much. But and you can feel free to have fun with it if you want. But those are the basics. And they've got the digital mixer up here on the wall that we're going to plug into. And I know it looks crazy, but we don't use very much of it. Okay, right there, you see those two, the white and the red? That's the two things that we plug into. They come right out of the main outs on our mixer, and they go right there. So when you get here, these are the two that play the house music off of like an iPod, and you just unplug them. And then our mixer plugs right in there, just as if you're plugging into an amplifier, where it says stereo in left and right. That's exactly what we plug into on this mixer. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to operate this mixer. So you can turn, all you have to do is turn it up. Sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand here. Okay, so let's assume that that's our mixer plugged in right there. It's going into the stereo line in. Okay, now this digital mixer, it's a touch screen. It's just like a regular mixer, but it's a touch screen, and you can move the faders up and down, and you can also use this knob here to turn everything up and down. The way it works, like if I go on this here, this is the main out, left, right. If I touch on it to activate it, then I can use this knob, see, to turn it up or down. Excuse me. So basically, you want your line out at 0, just like you'd have it on a regular mixer, and then to activate the stereo in, if you look at the top of the mixer, okay, it's going to say different things like as inputs 1 through 8, inputs 9 through 16, stereo inputs and effects, and outputs. Okay, so because the screen is small, it's not showing you all the faders at the same time. So what we're going to use is a stereo input. So I'm just going to tap on where it says stereo inputs here, and then you'll see stereo in. That's the one we just plugged into right there. That's stereo in. You can see it on the top there. Take a good picture of it. Stereo in. Okay, so that's the one that's playing, and they've got some house music playing on it right now, but it's turned down. Now if I go and I activate that one by touching it, I can either slide that slider up with my finger, but the easiest way is just touch on it. See how it's outlined and highlighted? Now if I turn it up, you can hear the music going up. Okay, so those are the only two we use on the you go to stereo inputs / effects, and you're going to turn up the stereo input. And basically what I do is I set it at the 0 mark, because then my mixer controls how loud or quiet things are. It just functions as an input. Okay, you go straight to their amps. So stereo input, and then the main output is over here, and the way you get to that is you touch on where it says outputs. Okay, so if I touch outputs, it's going to show me the main out right there. Now this mixer is programmed so pretty much whatever you click on, it's going to, I think the main left right out slider is locked in position, so it won't go away no matter what you hit. But if nothing else, if you don't see it, just click on outputs and find your main left right output, set it to the 0 mark right there, and then click on your stereo inputs, and you'll see I gotta click on it again, stereo inputs, and it's usually the first one on the left there, stereo in. That one goes up, and that's all you have to do. That makes this mixer function as basically an amplifier for our mixer. Just goes in and gets processed and goes right on through to their speakers. Okay, those are the only two things you need to worry about on this thing. And of course, if they're muted, you want to unmute them. At the very bottom, there's a thing there. If I click on that, it'll mute it. So you'll make sure it's not muted. So unmute it, slide it up, So I'm sliding it with my finger here. Sorry about that. I just turned it up really loud. But anyway, that's what you do with it. Okay. It's definitely working.